that are affecting me. Rising crime, poverty, issues in my own country. But today we're talking about it. Yes, we're gonna talk about it. Ain't nobody wants to open their mouth, but we don't speak out. At the Youth Zone, searching for solutions for the issues in our nation. That's the only way we know that we can make it. It's going down. At the Youth Zone, we may be young, but we're the next generation, and we're here to save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Youth Zone. A senior high school student at one of our public schools was confronted by school administration one day after she wore her hair out in its natural state. The issue pretty much escalated after she was told to change the style. Her mother took to social media in protest. Subsequent meetings was held the school after the ordeal, and postings further escalated. The media was called in and the story went viral through social media as well. Well, since then, it's now gone viral internationally.
That's right. The Ministry of Education, Science, and Technology released a statement about the matter, supporting the right for students to wear their natural hair as is, but also supporting administrators' claims that it must be well-groomed. So the question we have is, what is considered well-groomed? How far is too far? Is this a form of discrimination? And in actuality, how many students wear their hair in its natural state are actually subscribing to an ethnic movement?
Personally, I think your last question, Lexi, was really good. I know I've been wondering, is it more of a fashion or fad for girls, or are they truly subscribing to these ethnic roots for a greater cause? What I find further interesting is the amount of attention this story has gathered. My question is, does this mean we should be looking closer to our rights as people of color, or is it just a smokescreen?
Very interesting and deep questions from both of you. On today's show, we talk about this issue of, quote, the puff, and the movement it has started, particularly on social media.
Our discussion begins right now.
Do you have a straight guideline in the school rule book that says your hair must be in this direct manner? I stand in support of the puff.
All right.
I gotta agree with the school's philosophy because, quote unquote, my good director of education, in his statement, he said that was a uniform infraction in which that student was not suspended for.
You can't walk up to someone and say their hair's untidy or their hair's ungroomed. It's disrespectful.
At the Youth Zone, we may be young, but we're the next generation, and we're here to save our nation. To save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
So we're talking about the puff, a story that dominated the media recently, drawing attention to students who wear their natural hair and whether the styles are acceptable. To find out what you had to say, our social media correspondent Yamil Moss has this week's responses. Yamil?
Thanks, guys. We're always excited to hear from you on our topic of the week. And boy, didn't we get some interesting responses. Take a look.
I mean, for me, I'm transitioning, so I feel as if had I come to school with my hair out like that, and they'd be like, oh no, you have to go home, this isn't proper, I'd be like, so why am I even then? So we don't have natural kinky hair then, what you want me to do? Shave it off? And perm is unhealthy.
I personally think that it's discriminating. You should not condemn or punish girls for wearing the hair that they were born with.
I mean, as long as it was nice and clean or whatever, I don't think there's a problem with it, to be honest.
Okay.
If it was dirty or something, then that's an issue. You need to do something with that. But other than that, cut that out, please. If it's dirty, you want to do so what are you looking at?
This week's question was, do you support the puff? Why or why not? Ironique Forbes says, yes, I do support the puff, but I don't appreciate the way the situation was handled. I feel it was blown out of proportion. Tamika McFall says, I believe that I should be equal to a man. Then, in the same way that he can wear his hair any way he wants, so can I. Asha Burns says, penalizing the student doesn't make any sense because her hair has nothing to do with her education. So, we want to hear from you. Stay tuned to our social media sites on Twitter at YouthZone242, Instagram at the YouthZone242, and Snapchat the Youth Zone. And don't forget our Facebook page, the Youth Zone. view our question of the week, and send us a 20-second video of your opinion. That's our social media report for the week. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Yamil. Well, it's time to turn up the heat. There's still the life of the party and the muse with all the views. We're talking about our TYZ panel. Hey, welcome back another week, guys. How y'all doing? Awesome. Okay, so obviously we've been talking about this issue. It's come up in a lot of our discussions over the course of the weeks. What say you? Where do you stand on it? Speak up.
Well, as for me, personally, I must say, I stand in support of the puff.
All right, all right. Why?
Why? Because my thing is, if it was my daughter, and she personally wants to keep her hair, basically showing her ethnicity, why not? Like, it's her, it's who she is. It's our culture to embrace what defines us.
Okay.
And here, natural ability, that defines who she is. So why not support her? Why make it an issue? It's not ruining her education. She isn't coming to school to have a tutorial on how to keep her hair well kept.
Well, okay, interesting point, which we can come back to in a second. Let's get somebody else's opinion. Anybody else? How do you feel about it, Miko?
What I feel about this situation, I really kind of agree with administration, and I really don't care how you guys see me after this show about what I have to say, but I kind of agree with the school's philosophy because, quote unquote, my good director of education, in his statement, he said that was a uniform infraction in which that student was not suspended for. Secondly, he said that the public schools are now focusing on job readiness because of the national diploma. Thirdly, that is the principal of that school. And she has a right as the principal to have her philosophy of the school. And she has a right to have a philosophy in which she wants to run her school. And I just feel like it's 7 other senior high schools you want to attend to if you don't want to follow it. That's just my view. I'm sorry if you don't agree.
Miko, I see where you're coming from, but I have disagreed with you. I don't support the way it was handled. You can't walk up to someone and say their hair's untidy or their hair's ungroomed. It's disrespectful, and I don't care how old you is. If you walk up to me and tell me I look untidy, I can give you the look or something. So you can't just do that. That's what and I support the puff. Now I just don't support the way it was handled from both parties. I wouldn't have taken it to social media, and it's become a big issue now.
I have one thing to say. She can say, I understand the school rules that your hair must be kept well, but what is kept well? Do you have a straight guideline in the school rule book that says your hair must be in this direct manner? If they don't, then they don't have no grounds to say that it's unkept, because then that means they're making up rules or making up things as by how they feel. If
or
you don't have
personal opinion.
A personal opinion. If it isn't in word, and if you don't have pictures saying that your hair can be like this or that, you can't. It isn't fair on the other side.
I just want to say, in a general code from the Ministry of Education, it says simple hairstyles, and that's just the fact. You get, like, if your hair is outlandish, you will not or cannot be entered into a school because it says simple hairstyles.
But Chumiko, what is simple to you might not be simple to me. What is simple? You can't say.
To define that.
Oh, but
that's why they have administration to define.
No,
that from
it should
the
be
Ministry of
defined
Education.
in the rule book. There's a difference of me telling you something than what's the law or what's the rule.
How simple could it get? The natural hair that is coming out of your scalp, how simple could it get? That's as simple as it could get.
I understand that, and I actually love the natural hair. I'm just saying, when it comes to abiding by the rules and abiding by the school, we have, what can you do? It's just general guidelines. What's the problem?
Okay, it's interesting. I see where both sides are coming from in this matter. Nick, do you have a take on this?
I really don't see anything wrong with the principal making up her mind as to what is right and what is wrong in terms of the hair, the way the hair is kept. I think there should be that one person to enforce it, and it does need to be enforced, or else if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. So who better to enforce it than the principal, and why fight the principal on this kind of thing?
Okay,
this kind of issue?
We've heard education. We've heard what they've said. Jamiko recapped it for us. We've heard what they've said. We've not heard the other side as to how we've heard the mother. We've heard her views on this whole ordeal, but we've not heard from the student. But after the break, She's here, and we'll talk to her right after this. Stay close. You're in the Youth Zone. How do you feel seeing the kind of attention that this issue has gotten? How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I didn't expect it at all. I didn't even expect it to get this global. My mommy normally, she's a passionate person about politics, mostly. I'm sure everybody knows that. But how it is, like, I'm a child. You can't expect her to be passionate about politics and other people and not stand up for her child. So she decided to take it to social media.
Searching for solutions for the issues in our nation. That's the only way we know that we can make it. It's going down at the Youth Zone. Let us save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the controversial issue of the puff. Stemming from a recent issue at the C.R. Walker Senior High School when 11th grader Tasia Delaveau was asked to groom her natural hair or face consequences. Tasia joins us exclusively. Welcome her to the Youth Zone, please.
Welcome. Good to have you. Okay, so just so that we understand, because a lot of people have been hearing stories, let's hear it first from you, how this issue came about. Who approached you and what was said?
Okay, I was approached by the principal. She came to the classroom to address another matter. After she was finished with that matter, she pulled me to the door and she asked me, why is my hair fixed like this? And I told her because this is how I fixed my hair this morning. Then she said, your hair looks like it's not combed. Then I said, but I combed my hair this morning. And then she said, oh, well, look like it's not combed. You can't come back to school with your hair like this anymore. And then she said that I have to put my hair in one. I told her that my hair is in one. And then she said, well, I need to put my hair in one in the back and wrap it around.
Okay, so obviously hearing that, you would have gone home, spoken to your mother about it, no doubt about it.
Actually, I didn't. I told her that before I even left the school. I had a computer class at 4th period. And while I was in there doing my work, I signed in. I went on my Gmail and I emailed her and I said, Mommy, Miss McKay said that my hair looks uncombed and that I cannot come back to school with my hair like this. My mommy thought that I came there to address that she was talking about the green what's in my hair because I put black rinse on my hair to avoid any uniform infractions with color. And my mother called. That same evening, she called, she spoke with Mr. Jadderid, and I'm not sure who else she spoke with, but that's what happened. And then she took it straight to social media.
So, and everything unfolded from there. How do you feel seeing the kind of attention that this issue has gotten? How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I didn't expect it at all. I didn't even expect it to get this global. My mommy normally, she's a passionate person about politics, mostly. I'm sure everybody knows that. But how it is, like, I'm a child. You can't expect her to be passionate about politics and other people and not stand up for her child. So she decided to take it to social media. And after she did it, she didn't mention the school name. She didn't mention the principal's name. But after she did it, everybody just keeps sharing it, and it just went viral.
Do you feel as if your rights were imposed upon by being asked to change your hairstyle?
Yes, I do. Because my hairstyle is who I am. Why would you ask me to change my hairstyle? That's like telling me to change who I am. I've been wearing my hair in a puff from grade 10. Obviously, my hair is actually going to grow more, and the puff is going to get bigger.
Okay, so let me ask. I don't understand. Is that the puff?
No, this isn't in.
Okay.
This is in the puff. This is just my hair. Halfway in, one in the front and out.
Okay, so this wouldn't have been the hairstyle that you had that day?
No, my hair was in an actual puff. Like
Okay.
a big
Okay, all right. Is that how you normally wear your hair every day to school? So that wasn't the first time you wore that to school. It's just the first time she saw it, probably.
I've been wearing my hair like that from grade 10, actually.
Wow. And you've never had an issue with it? No one
No.
ever approached you about it saying it?
It looks unkept. No. If anything, everybody tell me, curl your hair, your hair getting prettier and prettier. Or the security would tell me, girl, what happened to your hair? Your puff getting so big. Like, stuff like that.
And there'll be some questions over here. Everybody's sitting there like,
All right. I have a question for you. Number one, I have your hair. How it looks? It looks like like very kinky hair. Like, is your hair easily? This may be a weird question, but is your hair easily tamed?
In a way, yes, and in a way, no. Natural hair is not easy to deal with. In order for me to put my hair in one, I have to like literally cut a band that you put in the front of your hair and tie it, because it's not easily put in one like with a regular scrunchie. Like the same black band that she has on her head, I have to cut that and then wrap it around my hair and then pull it tight in order for me to get my hair in one.
Nice. Miss Tasia, question. So after all this happened, has it affected you in school? Like, teachers looked at you different, the principal doesn't look at you. Like, tell me the experience afterwards. Like, I'm really interested in finding out about what happened afterwards.
Afterwards, nothing really changed except for the students. Everybody in the school would be like, support the puff. I support the puff. And then the boys, they would have literally elastics around their head saying they support the puff.
So let me ask you though, because the question we've been asking a lot of people at the beginning of the show was, if it is the natural hair for ethnic reasons, why did you grow your hair and keep your hair in a natural state? A lot of people are perming and doing all kind of stuff. You chose natural. Why?
One main reason is because I have a dandruff condition with my hair, where I have to wash my hair like 2 to 3 times a week. If I don't do it, it will fall on my face, like right in the front hair, around my hairline. You could see the little patchiness. And then another reason is because I was tired of perming my hair, and then the perm, it was like messing with my scalp because of the dandruff. Like, it used to drop right here, and round hair used to be like bloody. Like,
So you used to have your hair perm before at one point.
my hair was perm.
Wow.
I have a question for you, Tasia. Do you think it was your mom's intention just to kind of get some support for you as her child? Or do you think she was fighting for all girls like you who wore their hair naturally to try and like make a point?
I think she was fighting for everybody, because even after all of this happened, she's still there and she's still fighting. And then after all of this really unfolded and happened, like, other students were saying that they had the same problem like years back or so, including one of my close friends. Her 2 twin sisters had the same problem.
So what do you think your mom would like the public school system to do about this thing, about this issue?
The public school?
Yeah, well, what do you think your mom would like to happen in the public schools to make a change, to kind of like back up natural girls more?
Only thing, the thing that she might actually want to happen is that they help to embrace young girls to wear their natural hair instead of permanent or putting rinse in the front of their hair, trying to make a hairline, like stuff like that.
Okay, thank
Do
you.
you feel opportunities have been taken away from you? Have you experienced that or not as a result of this? Or is this pretty much still life as usual for you at school with your teachers and administration?
Life is still usual.
Good. So no attitude, no, that girl, no.
No.
Okay, which is a good thing,
No.
How do you feel coming out of this? Have you changed your hairstyle going to school every day now, or do you still wear it the same way?
I haven't changed my hairstyle. I only changed my hairstyle, I think it was when was the last day we had school? Whichever the last day we had school was for midterm, I had my hair, instead of this in one, I had it in 2 in the back, like really picked out, but I have like some serious shrinkage going on, so it's smaller.
Okay, I have a question. Did your principal or any administration in your school recommend any other hairstyles for you to wear instead of the puff?
Or trying to get it from or anything?
Or tell you to straighten it?
they haven't told me that per se. The only thing that my principal told me was to wear my hair back in the Title One.
Okay.
And then there was a teacher that asked me why I came to school with my hair in a puff in one on top of my head. And then she asked me, if Atlantis was to call you for a job and say that you cannot wear your natural hair, what would you do? I told her that I wouldn't take the job because that's discrimination.
But Tasia, I have a question. How does it feel being the epicenter of all this media attention, like for the whole world to be in on this situation? How does that make you feel?
It doesn't really change much. Honestly, I feel accomplished because to know that a lot of young girls actually saying that they want to go natural now because of me and that they're going to stay natural and that they're going to rock their puff because of me, I feel accomplished. It feels good.
Hold on. Going back to what you said that you wouldn't accept the job. Why you wouldn't accept the job and ain't no jobs in the Bahamas now? Tell me. No, I want to know. I want to know. Why would you turn down the job just for your hair?
Because that is my hair. My hair is my beauty. Why should I please you?
Conform to European standards
But
to get a job.
in a way, pleasing them can also be pleasing yourselves because a job is money.
That's true.
Because see, what happens in the future if you graduate school, you go off to college, you work hard at whatever you want to do, and then you come out of college and you get a job opportunity of your dream profession, whatever it may be. And they offer you the job, you can make good money from it, but the only thing stopping you is that, hey, we need this standard in our workplace of you can't wear your hair like this. And regardless of why they have that rule, would you still turn it down?
Honestly, I don't know. If it's my dream job, I don't know. But I don't think that they would even go to that level of you cannot wear your natural hair to work at all.
Can I say something? Yeah, get the microphone on. Okay.
Like I see what you guys are trying to do. You're trying to force a situation if to make a choose. Imagine someone wants to make you choose. Let's say you're all over there Christians, and they said you cannot work in my establishment because you're a Christian. You have to. Would you change?
No, I'd go home.
Would you change? Or would you change for money? Because said a lot to make a way. But would you change for money just because someone wants you to turn from a Christian so you can get this job? Would you do that? So why you can't you shouldn't make it that something like this would never stand anywhere else. No, hold on. It's called choice. It's called choice. But yes you can. Yes you can.
I have a question. Would you bleach your skin out if a job if someone offer you a job and they say you need to be a light skin in order to get this job? Would you bleach your skin out? That's the same thing as having a natural. You doing what? You change your natural color. You change your natural color, natural hair.
It's just a way to try to get you to think differently and stop thinking just because her hair she won't be able to get this job. What if someone wants you to conform whatever your beliefs are just so you can get a job? Seriously?
Well, I mean, they may be lost in the answer. I ain't lost my answer. No, I don't believe in conforming beliefs. I believe if you believe in something, you ought to be willing to stand for it regardless of what it takes. I think the problem in our country is we're not willing to stand for what we believe in. That's why we accept so many things in our country that we don't like happening because we're not willing to go out on the limb for what we believe. So I believe firmly in standing what you believe. But like the key word to me is at least have something that you believe in.
Yes.
Tasia has a belief in her puff. A lot of people have hair natural state and they have it because everybody else wearing it. It's a fashion for them. They know nothing about belief. They know nothing about black ethnicity. They know nothing about why black people have natural hair. They know nothing about it. All they know is that everybody else wearing it too. When you ask them to tame it, I ain't taming it. Why? I know. So to me, have something to believe in. If you believe in that solely, I understand that. And for Tasia, I believe that if the school didn't allow her to stay, she would have been willing to move to a different school for her belief. I think that's different. And I think we wanted to get that point across, that if it's your belief and you firmly believe in it, it's fine. We've heard from her today for the first time. We can hear she's an intelligent girl. You have a GPA of what? So she's an intelligent girl. She's working towards something good. She's outstanding. She's a member of Junior Achievement Bahamas, and so she's doing some good things. That's different. That's different. And to her to come on this show, you can hear from her coming on this show. I mean, we can't judge based on anything else, but you can tell from her personality that she's not aggressive or bitter or hostile towards the situation. And that's different. And I think we have to look at what the facts really are for her. And her belief is, this is what I do. I have a medical reason for doing it. But if they say, tame it a bit, I think she's tamed it a bit somehow. But she wants to make sure that it's not the focus of what she's doing in school, but that she stands for a cause. And we commend you for that. And we thank you for coming on the show today and talking us about that.
Thank you.
And I think there's a lesson in that for all of us, and that is, if you believe in something strong enough, stand for it. Too often times we give in to things because of people's influence or higher powers' influence or political influence, and we give up our rights from people because we feel as if it's going to affect me in a negative way. If you believe in something, stand for it. What y'all say?
Yeah. Well, we're not out of talk, but we're definitely out of time. So let's continue the discussion on social media at our Facebook page, The Youth Zone, and Twitter page, we're at The Youth Zone 242, or meet us on our interactive chat live at ZennesBahamas.com.
Don't go anywhere. Your TYZ News is up next after the break.
At the Youth Zone, we may be young, but we're the next generation, and we're here to save our nation. At the Youth Zone, you are now in the Youth Zone.
Hey everybody, I'm Shanae Smith.
And I'm Jose Etienne, and we're back, bringing you not only important but also popular youth news. Executives of both the Bahamas and Agriculture and Industrial Corporation and Junior Achievement Bahamas teaming up recently to give JA members a first-hand practical course in entrepreneurship. With as many as 5,000 achievers throughout the country, Vice Chairman of JA, Mr. Philip Simon, says this specific program targets a total of 400 seniors in the high school. Half of them, he says, are coming from the various family islands. General Manager at BAIC, Mr. Troy Sampson, says his team will be introducing students to the merchants in the Soldier Road Industrial Park and viewing their operation.
A hair salon is supporting the Puff during their Natural Hair Month. They started a campaign called Natural Hair is Professional. Let's take a look. Due to the recent events of C.R. Walker student Tasia Delaveau being threatened with suspension by her principal, a campaign was launched by a local hair salon. The Happy Hair Salon started the Natural Hair is Professional campaign, which coincidentally took place at the same time as their Love Your Natural Hair Month. The purpose of the campaign was to debunk the common misconception that natural hair is unprofessional. The campaign features professionals such as a medical engineer, dentist, CPA, doctor, tourism specialist, and business owners wearing their natural hair. Carolyn Taylor, owner of the Happy Hair Salon, says, "We wanted to debunk that myth and show that natural hair is professional across the board. It is professional if you work in an office as an assistant or if you are the CEO of that company."
Junior Achievement is dedicated to providing opportunities for their young achievers. TYZ reporter Xavier Knowles has more about one of those endeavors. Over to you, Xavier.
Junior Achievement Bahamas recently held a college fair and session about careers in the aviation industry. Young achievers had the opportunity to meet a few colleges and speak with a representative one-to-one to learn about the various institutions. Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University was among the schools that attended, and the representative gave a very informative presentation on careers in the aviation field. At the end of the session, two young men from Grand Bahama walked away with scholarships to Embry-Riddle worth $10,000 each. We would like to say congratulations to the two young men and thank you, Junior Achievement Bahamas, for promoting our young people.
We also want to hear from you if you have any news regarding our phenomenal youth. Well, that, my friends, is our news for this week. I'm Shanae Smith.
And I'm Jose Etienne. Please don't touch that remote.
Stay tuned for more Youth Zone after the break.
Save our nation. At the Youth Zone, you are now in the Youth Zone.
Well, we're back with another exciting season of learning to speak Mandarin, and our language coach, Tanya Mafal, has some new and innovative lessons for us. Tanya, welcome back.
Let's begin. So, today we've been talking about hair types. So, we're going to go through a few hair types, all right? So, let's start with hair. Hair is tofa.
Tofa.
Let's hear you, audience. Tofa.
Tofa.
Good. All right, now we have persons who are bald, so let's talk about bald, all right? Two-toe.
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 Okay, so what was hair?
Tofa.
And what is bald?
Two-toe.
Good. Now, let's talk about wigs. Some people like to wear wigs. Nothing wrong with that. Jiafa.
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 Good. And of course, well, basically, yeah, you know, however you put your helmet on, right? All right. So next we're going to talk about curly. For persons who have curly hair. Juan fa.
Juan fa.
Juan fa.
Juan fa.
All right. And so you may have straight hair like Ashwana. Jur fa.
Jur fa.
Jur fa.
Jur fa.
All right. And you may also have, hey, she paid for it, it's hers, okay? Thank you. All right. And we also talk about frizzy hair, kinky hair. Chuan fa.
Chuan fa.
Chuan fa.
Chuan fa.
Now, the difference between Juan fa and Chuan fa is not only the tones, but Juan fa is Juanfa. Okay? Chuan fa, frizzy hair, is Quanfa. All right? Because the Q makes the CH sound in Mandarin. All right? So that's another point. So when you're practicing, as we practice more, we'll be able to pick up the different tones, the different sounds, okay? So let's go through those textures again. So straight hair was, like Ashwana hair was what? Good try. Zhi fa. All right? And let's go on. Let's talk about long hair. Chuang fa. Chuang fa. And then if you have shorter hair, duan fa.
Duan fa.
Duan fa.
Duan fa.
All right. So curly hair was Duan fa. Good. All right. Frizzy hair was Chun fa. And straight hair was Jur fa. Very good. Jur fa. Way to go. And that's our lesson for today.
Awesome. Well, it's about that time for our focus on encouraging entrepreneurship. And of course, we're focusing on it Stripes My Own Business is what our segment is called. This season, we focus on Bahamas Striping Company. Take a look.
What is a Bahamian business? If it's a business operating in the Bahamas that improves some aspect of our social landscape, fuels money back into the Bahamian economy, while giving Bahamians an opportunity to develop professionally and personally, then Bahamas Striping definitely fits the bill. Formed 3 years ago by young entrepreneur and government self-starter recipient Atario Mitchell, Bahamas Striping is not just dedicated to marking roads, but committed to leaving indelible marks on the lives of young Bahamians. Youth who are not just in search of a job, but in pursuit of a career.
Well, in this particular field, this market was normally controlled by a foreign company. And once I started my company, I wrote letters to the government, letting them know that I'm a Bahamian company, that this work shouldn't be given to foreigners. I'm a Bahamian, I actually employ Bahamians. The foreigner doesn't employ any Bahamian at all. So I feel that as a Bahamian, employing Bahamians, I feel that I should have first right to this job. And I wasn't like, I was successful in getting some work, but now after meeting with the Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Davis, he assured me and my company, along with other striping companies, that we will have a fair chance to get work under their administration. And so far, I have been getting a fair chance, and work you see me, what I'm doing now is actually work that was given to me through the ministry. And all they ask me to do is keep up the good standards and keep on employing Bahamians.
Maintaining a quality standard is not just lip service for Mitchell, who took an unprecedented and costly approach to employee development and training.
Mr. Mitchell and his company, I consider them very visionary. He has, over the past 6 to 9 months, I think, had bought in a UK trainer that is properly trained in striping, and the gentleman has been actively involved in embracing the UK standard and lending that assistance to his company. So they are doing that on a daily basis. I know that they're having meetings outside of their project portfolio. So they are being properly trained, and I must commend him for a 3-year company spending that type of resources to bring in a consultant at this time to properly train his staff. So he has taken all the necessary steps that needs to be taken in order for his company to further advance.
Well, there's two types of striping. There's paint and there's thermoplastic, like what we doing now. That is what you see on the major highways and stuff like that. It's a more complex product. So, and dealing with the highways, the markings have to be accurate. So what I did is I went and find a UK certified striper named Brian Bostock and bring him in to train me and my crew to make sure that we do the work up to the correct standards.
The work that Mr. Mitchell and his company does up to this point is personally on par. And I can say the last set of work that I've witnessed is even better than some of the work that we have seen done by their foreign counterpart.
And even though it may seem that road striping is really just striping the road, closer inspection reveals this industry is more technical than it seems.
Save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
What's happening in your school? What sets you apart from the rest? Well, every week we'll find out when we feature a different school. This week we welcome H.O. Nash Junior High School. All right. Good afternoon, Ms. Samuels, who is the principal of H.O. Nash Junior High School. May you tell us a little bit about your school and introduce the other members of faculty that you have here today?
Okay, other than the fact that we're the best junior high school in the Bahamas, I am happy to have supporting me today members of my team. I have Mr. Kent Liborn, our senior master, Mrs. Teresa Turnquest, our teacher of the year, and third in the nationals. I also have Mr. Prinstein, my vice principal, Mrs. Carmen Miller, senior mistress, Mrs. Chavez Rutherford, senior mistress, and I have Mr. Rigby, our head of the Performing Arts Department, along with all of my students.
All right. So let's start first of all, because most schools boast about being known for something. What would you say H.O. Nash is known for?
I think that we are known for, first of all, academics, and possibly some people may not know, and I don't know why, but for the past several years, we've been doing exceptionally well at the BJC. In 2013, our student, Krista Petty, had the most outstanding BJC results in the country. 2014, we had Nastasia Turnquest, Mrs. Turnquest's daughter, most outstanding results in the country. And from year to year, we've just been getting better and better. Everybody's banging on our doors to get there. And we're happy about our results, but we don't just do well in the BJC. You know, in the BJC, we have been the school that is trying very hard to meet the national standard in terms of our minister wanted at least 50% of the children in the government schools being able to qualify for the National High School Diploma. In the first year that he set that date, most schools were standing at 28 or so, and we were standing at 31, head of the pack. But this year, we are 47, and by the end of this school year, we are going to meet that deadline. We have the majority of the school students in our school making that. In addition to that, we were also the school in the country that had the best attendance on the BJC. So, you know, once you get there, you're going to be able to do well. And so we had best attendance in the country on the BJC exam. And we have not only done well academically. Last year, our boys and girls were GSSA basketball champions.
All right.
Yes, we also were the GSSA baseball champions. Already for this year, we are the GSSA girls basketball and girls volleyball. And you know, we have much more to go. And we have moved from 6th in track and field to 3rd. So, you know, we are coming and we are making roads. We're making inroads everywhere. And not just sports, academics, everywhere and every spare of the field. You know, because our children are doing well in all of our clubs. We're just trying at anything, and everybody knows that when you hear H.O. Nash, you hear a force to be reckoned with.
That's
Everybody knows that Lions stand for something. We raw.
All right.
You know, we rolling. Okay. So I am very proud of the accomplishments that we've made, and I'm sure that most of our students here and those supporting me will be able to give us a little more insight into some of the things that they do personally and that the school does, because we are very proud of our accomplishments.
Let's hear from Teacher of the Year, first of all. We hear about these outstanding results that the students are turning out. What do you think the key ingredient is here that's causing the students to perform so well external exams?
Well, I think the key to helping our students to perform extremely well, I think it's really the dedicated teachers. I must say, we have some of the best educators in the Bahamas at the awesome H.O. Nash Junior High School. We have the principal and administrators definitely working with us one-on-one, but the teachers are committed to giving 101% and going over and beyond. Wow. They look forward to morning, afternoon classes, even lunch classes. It's like we eat, sleep, and drink our students, if I must say, because we are simply the best, and we believe that we are definitely better than the rest. And so we must live up to that standard. So with God on our side, definitely we'll continue to be number one.
Dr. Senior Master, how important is it to have a male figure in these schools?
Oh, it's absolutely important. Probably half of the school population consists of male students, and as fabulous as our Teacher of the Year and our female students are, it's always, I think, a good thing for the males to have someone that they can look up to and put particular questions to that they probably wouldn't be able to ask the female teachers.
Have you noticed growth among particularly your male population in being able to open up in dialogue?
Most certainly. One of the things that really sets us apart as far as our male population, my principal, 2 years ago, she really instituted a program, the Male Empowerment Program. And it's a program at our school that we try to meet the needs of some of our males that we see probably falling by the wayside. So we try to see if we could bring them in before anything gets out of hand. So one of the things that we've been doing at H.O. Nash is trying to address some of the problems preventatively, try to deal with it before we get to it. So for our males, it's been a very important program, the Male Empowerment Program. We also have a number of other programs like Aspire Tracking Program. We also have our ICANN program, and ICANN really talks about their ability to do it, their ability to achieve. And like Ms. Turnquest says, the positive attitude really is the most important thing, or the most important ingredient in a good education.
I'm going to wrap up Q, but I want to hear from the kids in the back real quick. Tell me, what is it that you like about your school, so we hear how you feel about it.
I like that they are so confident about their school and how my school, and how it's friendly, and you could go to anyone to talk to people, like the counselors and administrators and teachers. You could go to talk to them, and if they see you're like doing bad in school, or like you just drop suddenly, they would ask you why, or is something going on, or stuff like that.
That's awesome. Okay, Maya, what is it you like about your school?
I like that the school of good team spirit, school spirit, like how we came third. We celebrated.
As if you won.
Like, as if we came first, because we have good school spirit.
All right. Conrad, what do you like about your school?
Like the administrator said, that we are #1 school in the Bahamas. But to be more detailed, I like the teachers' dedication towards the students.
Wow.
Like Ms. Samuel said, the afternoon programs, lunchtime programs, they are there to help the students actually progress in life, not just in education, but in the different parts that everyone has to face through in life. But I love that the teachers they don't just go there because they have to. They do it because they want, and they have that drive in them to do this.
You the man. You the man. That's your head, boy. Hey, I had to admit it. You're the man. You're the man. You're the man. Well, listen, honestly, I want to say thank you for being our School of the Week. When you hear this kind of response from the students, it really tells you that the school is having a lasting impact.
Y'all don't seem like y'all gonna let us sing our song.
Go ahead, sing your song.
Come on, please. Come on, Mr. Rigby, please.
As our hearts join in as one, and our eyes turn to the sky, deep within our inner being, let us lift this anthem high. That's when all of life's forgotten, then no sword shall linger on. Let us feel the deepest sense of pride as we echo out this song. We will stand tall in the midst of life's storm and proclaim the name of our school forever. May our hearts be joined in praise, and forever this anthem raise. Oh, to our great alma mater, forever. May we never forget our motto, for no struggle, no progress. May we realize that only we can make life what it is. May we ever seek to put God first, and across our minds will flash that name that vanquished all. What's that name? Great name, H.O. Nash. We will stand tall in the midst of life's storm and proclaim the name of our school forever. May our hearts be joined in praise, and forever this anthem raise. Oh, to our great alma mater, forever. Oh, to our great alma mater, forever.
Well, stay with us. You've heard music. Our artist of the week have a fitting song for H.O. Natch. It's called Champion. He's here right after the break. Stay with us.
At the youth zone, we may be young, but we're the next generation, and we're here to save our nation. Oh, at the youth zone, you are now in the youth. Here to save our nation. Oh, at the youth zone, you are now in the youth zone.
Well, it's been great hanging with you. Hit us up on Twitter at YouthZone242, Facebook, The Youth Zone.
Or email us at youthzone242@sundosebahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
Of course, before we leave, we have to say thank you to Lexi for filling in co-hosting duties with her hoarse voice. Thank you, Lexi, for filling in. Well, finally on the show today, our artist of the week is a minister at Impact Kingdom Christian Center. He's just released his first single debuting into the gospel music industry called Champion. I must say it's hitting up the airways on gospel radio today. He's known as the Praiseologist. Please welcome to the Youth Zone, Leonardo Evans. See you next week, everyone.
Come on, everybody, it's time to praise the Lord. Oh.
Oh, hey, 'cause you're my champion, yeah. I just wanna praise you, Lord. You are my champion. You're my champion. You are my champion. You are my champion. Though I'm on the battlefield, I know it's already won. Say if they bury me, I know I'll rise again. When everyone leaves me, I know you are my friend. Whenever I am low, you are the only one on whom I can depend. You are my champion. Come on, put those hands together. Oh, oh, ooh, na 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 na. You are my champion. You are my champion. You are my champion. Though I'm on the battle, I know it's already won. You are my shepherd, Lord. I know I'll never lack. If I lose anything, I'm getting double back. You are the King of Kings. You are God's only Son, and I will praise you, Lord. You are my champion. Somebody praise Him. It is the Lord. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, 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 oh. My champion. You are my champion. Though I'm on the battlefield, I know it's already. We about to give God a crazy praise in here. So whatever I say, that's what you got to do. Come on, are you ready? Somebody, are you ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Now move to the left, move to the left, move to the left, move to the left. Now move to the right, move to the right, move to the right, move to the right. Now slide to the back, slide to the back, slide to the back, slide to the back. Now up to the front, up to the front, up, up, up. Come on, now move to the left, move to the left, move to the left, move to the left. Now move to the right, move to the right, move to the right, move to the right. Now walk to the back, slide to the back, slide to the back, slide to the back. Now up to the front, up to the front. You ready? Come on, hey, say, jump up, hey, jump up, jump up, hey, jump up, jump up, jump up, jump up, hey, jump up, jump up, jump up.